This is Sylvia Saber with OPtv Global headlines, starting with the top international stories for the day. Canadians have given Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party a victory in parliamentary elections. Canada's ruling Liberal Party, led by PM Justin Trudeau, is set to form a minority government after a tight election race. Kabul airport has officially been opened and fully operational for both domestic and international flights days after the Taliban took over Afghanistan. The airport is operational 12 hours a day, mainly from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., as officials are still trying hard to prepare the airport for flights for night as well. Defense Secretary of United Kingdom Ben Wallace has launched an investigation into a data breach involving the email addresses of dozens of Afghan interpreters who worked for British forces. The email addresses of more than 250 people could be seen by all recipients, showing people's names and some associated profile pictures. The United States administration announced that it would double the number of refugees from Afghanistan. In 2021, the US will accept 62,000 Afghan refugees and will push the number to 125,000 in 2022. The United States is easing its coronavirus travel restrictions, reopening to passengers from the United Kingdom, European Union, and other nations. From November, foreign travelers will be allowed to fly into the US if they are fully vaccinated and undergo testing and contact tracing. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan praised US-Turkish relations and trade in New York City. Erdogan said Turkey and the US are decisively moving towards $100 billion trade volume. A US court has sentenced a Pakistani to 12 years in prison for illegally unlocking 1,900,033 mobile phones. It caused an American company, AT&T, to lose $200 million. Saudi Arabia has offered to mediate between Pakistan and India in an attempt to reduce long-running tensions between the two nuclear neighbors. Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan said that it is our desire that Pakistan and India should resolve all their disputes, including Kashmir issue, through dialogue. A gunman has opened fire at Perm University in Russia, leaving 8 people dead and 28 hurt. The suspect was identified as a student and detained after being wounded in an exchange of fire with police. 2 Japanese sisters have been certified by Guinness World Records as the world's oldest living identical twins at over 107 years and 300 days. Both described as sociable people and were born on 5th November 1913 on Shotoshima Island. Up next, we have the national updates. Military spokesman Major General Babar Iftikhar said that Pakistan is maintaining a regular engagement with the Afghan Taliban for safeguarding the country's security interests. The Inter-Services Public Relations Director General added that Pakistan is satisfied with the assurances extended by the Taliban regarding peace and security. The federal government has refused to share details of the gifts received by the Prime Minister of Pakistan from another countries. Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Political Communication, Dr. Shehbaz Gill, said that during the PTI government, a 50% price of the gift is deposited to the Treasury. Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan has stressed that the developed countries must take lead in raising their climate ambitions at UN-sponsored meeting. Prime Minister Imran Khan highlighted Pakistan's extreme vulnerability to climate change and expressed concern over unrealized climate finance pledges by the developed nations. Pakistan has imposed restrictions on the flight operation of Kuwaiti-designated airlines from October 1st. The decision took after Kuwait refused to accept Civil Aviation Authority's repeated requests to allow Pakistan International Airlines to resume its flights to and from Kuwait. The aggrieved sister of murder victim Noor Muqaddam has requested people to join the protest outside Islamabad Press Club on Wednesday so that justice could be served. Sara Muqaddam said that no one deserves to go through the ordeal that her family had to experience. A teenager with head injuries from a road accident lost his life after being tossed around Karachi's 4 hospitals. Sindh Health Department officials shared that Arif Hashim was denied treatment over a span of at least 6 hours. At least 9 people were killed and 16 were injured as participants of a jirga opened fire at each other in the Barawal Tehsil of Upper Dir. The incident occurred during a meeting held to resolve a dispute related to the construction of a road at Ganucham of the Tehsil. Up next, we have the health updates. The United Kingdom's government has announced to add folic acid in flour to help prevent spinal birth defects in babies. The new rules will only apply to non-wholemeal wheat flour. Pakistan reported 1,897 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, which is the lowest number of single-day infections in the last 2 months. The positivity ratio of the country in a single day stands at 4.1% with 81 deaths due to the COVID-19. Up next, we have the updates on science and technology. Bitcoin mining produces electronic waste annually comparable to the small IT equipment waste of a place like the Netherlands. Miners of the cryptocurrency each year produce 30,700 tons of e-waste. A unique way of delivering high-speed internet via beams of light through the air has successfully transmitted data across the Congo River. Project Tara is one of Alphabet X's so-called moonshot ideas. Up next, we have the sports updates. England Cricket Board has withdrawn their men's and women's team from next month's tour of Pakistan. Pakistan Cricket Board Chairman Ramiz Raja has expressed disappointment over the cancellation but showed hope that Pakistani team will survive. Security has been tightened around New Zealand's women's cricket team after a threat was received ahead of a one-day international against England in Leicester. New Zealand Cricket said a threatening email had been sent to the England and Wales Cricket Board. American athlete Trayvon Bromell banished his Olympic disappointment and beat his own world-leading time in 100 meters. He won the Kip Keino Classic in 9.76 seconds in Nairobi. A French tightrope walker has crossed the scene in Paris 70 meters up in a breathtaking feat. 27-year-old Nathan Paulin progressed barefoot on a line stretched across the river between the Eiffel Tower and the Chaliet Theatre. Up next, we have the entertainment updates. Pakistani singer Atif Aslam has announced his collaboration with superstar Myra Khan for his video song Ajnabi. Atif turned to his Instagram and Twitter to share the first poster of the song and said, "Coming together after 10 years." Pakistani legendary qawwal and playback singer Ustad Rahat Fateh Ali Khan has performed at Wembley Arena in London for 3 hours. London Mayor Sadiq Khan appreciated the performance of Rahat Fateh Ali Khan and said that people here love the Pakistani artist. The Sindh Health Department has requested to the Federal Ministry of Finance regarding the air ambulance for the treatment of legendary comic Omar Sharif. Sindh Health Department requested to release $169,800 in this regard. Up next, we have the business updates. The German automotive powerhouse BMW has released 4 motorcycles in various categories in Pakistan. Bayashe Motorenwerke AJ showcased K1600 GT, R18 Cruiser, 850 GS and 1250 GSA in a showroom of Islamabad. The exports from Pakistan witnessed an increase of 23.86% during the first 2 months of the current fiscal year. The exports from the country during July to August 2020 to 2022 were recorded at 742.259 million rupees. The Pakistani rupee depreciated 53 paisas against the United States dollar in the interbank currency market. The rupee finished at 168.72 against the greenback. The United Arab Emirates ranked the first Arab country and third among 27 emerging global economies and 23rd globally among 123 countries in the Future Readiness Index report.